Hey guys, it's a brand new week and we have a brand new topic to discuss. So, our topic for the week is how to answer the question, what are your strengths and weaknesses? So, if you want to learn how to answer that question, please watch the entire video. And if you want to get more of this kind of videos, don't forget to click on the subscribe and bell button icon so that you can get notification from this channel. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Okay, so let's start. Once again, good afternoon, guys. So, our topic for the week is again how to answer the question, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Okay, so just like our previous training, let's start with you guys. How are you going to answer the question? And then I'm going to discuss a little bit about the on how to answer it properly. And then later on, we're going to discuss also what are the don'ts or what are the thing that you don't need to say when being asked what are your strengths and weaknesses? Okay, so let's start with our new member, Jera. Jera, if you can answer the question, can you please tell us what are your strengths and weaknesses?
All right. Maybe the first. I am always nervous.
Okay,
I'm always nervous when it comes to interviews,
okay,
and I have always difficulty in speaking in groups. I'm also a captain in our
okay,
place. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm always nervous. Even if I am conducting classes. All
mm-hmm.
right. And for example, I have a student of for 2 years now. Every time that we have classes, I always felt nervous.
Okay, yeah. So actually, it happens to a lot of people. So how about you, June? June, what are your strengths and weaknesses?
Thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful question. I believe that my strength is that I can do multitasking and can adapt change quickly. And if you're talking about weaknesses, everybody has weakness. I believe that. But for me, I'll make sure that weaknesses happen. I will make I will let the company be affected of my weaknesses. If
Okay.
that will happen, I will just pause for a while and then move forward. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, very good. Let me give you a little bit of background about the question strengths and weaknesses. Why is it being asked in an interview? Okay. Well, of course, your employer wants to know what are the things that you can contribute in a company in the first place. That's the reason why they're asking about your strengths. Okay. As far as weaknesses is concerned, the reason why they want to know it is because they want to see if there are things that will hinder you from growing into their company. So those are the things kung bakit nila tinatanong yung question na yan. But most importantly, if you're in a BPO company or if you're applying in a BPO, chances are they're really gauging how can you communicate your strengths and weaknesses properly. Okay? So, having said that, how are we going to answer the question properly? If you notice, napakasimple lang nung tanong. Strengths and weaknesses. Lahat tayo meron yan. Right? If you're going to ask someone in Tagalog, saan ka magaling, marami siyang pwedeng sabihin. Magaling ako mag-basketball, magaling ako kumanta, magaling ako magluto, or what have you. Ano naman yung kahinaan mo? Well, medyo tamad ako, medyo hindi ako athletic. Yan. Yung mga tipong ganyan. Madali lang sabihin yan in Tagalog eh. Pero in an interview, hirap na hirap tayong sagutin yan. Especially dun sa weaknesses na part. Kasi syempre nakakahiyang sabihin in front of someone who's gonna be your future employer, i-discuss kung ano yung kahinaan mo. right? So, in order for us to answer that question properly, let's start with the strength first. Yan. Saan muna kayo magaling? Kailangan nyo kasing ibida yung sarili nyo kaagad eh. Before you discuss kung ano ba yung kahinaan ninyo. Okay? Now, after you discuss your strengths, I would suggest na magbigay lang kayo ng at least 2 or 3 strengths na meron kayo na feeling ninyo talagang kayang-kaya ninyong gawin. Okay? After nyo i-discuss yung strengths, then tsaka nyo i-discuss yung weaknesses ninyo. Okay? Weaknesses, I would say, at least 1 or 2 lang. Dapat mas marami yung strengths ninyo kesa sa weaknesses. So pag nag-discuss ka ng 3 strengths, bigyan mo lang sila ng 2 weaknesses. Yan. Pag nag-discuss ka ng 2 strengths, bigyan mo lang sila ng 1 weakness.
Okay.
Kumbaga ano yan eh, parang psychology yan eh. Siyempre gusto mong mas marami kang strength kesa sa weaknesses, di ba? Yan yung kailangan nating ibida. So, let's have an example. For example, sa strengths natin. Here's how we're going to answer it. Okay. Well, one of my greatest strength is that I am a very good team player, meaning I can work with a lot of people very well. And the reason behind that is I'm a good communicator too, meaning whatever is going on, even if it's a bad or a good thing, I can always communicate it effectively. Yan. Nakita ninyo? So, 2 strength ang tinakal ko sa kanya. Directly kong sinabi na I'm a good team player and I'm a good communicator. At ang maganda nun, na-organize ko siya in a way na mayroong relation yung pagiging good communicator ko sa pagiging good team player ko. Right? Okay. So pagkatapos nyong i-discuss yung strength, sabihin nyo naman, however, my weakness is that I would say I'm the type of person who loves to procrastinate. Um, I used to think it wasn't such a bad habit because I was only creating stress for myself. But when I was working from my previous company a few years ago, I was on a group where I could see how my putting things off the last minute created stress for everyone else. So yan yung mga pwede nating sabihin when you're answering the question, what are your strengths or weaknesses? So later on, itatackle natin kung paano natin kung ano yung dahilan ng mga kung ano yung mga dapat nating sabihing weaknesses. Okay? But before that, let's have an example first. So based on what we have discussed so far, paano ngayon natin sasagutin differently yung tanong na what are your strengths and weaknesses? So Jera, once again, if you can tell us what are your strengths and weaknesses?
All right. So my greatest strength, I have very good attention to detail, and I have always been detail oriented in my work, and that's and it's something I enjoy. Okay, and my great and however, my weakness is I'm very shy and nervous. Okay, that's why I have a very difficult time speaking in groups. Okay, and I have trouble asking for help.
Okay, so very good. Maganda yung construction mo ng sagot. But like what I told you earlier, kung magsasabi ka ng strength and weaknesses, dapat mas marami yung strengths mo.
All right,
But
2 and 2.
you did it the other way around. Medyo parang isang strength lang yata and then 2 or 3 weaknesses yung nabanggit mo.
All right, all right.
So again, let's
Right,
try
right. Great.
to make sure na ibida natin yung sarili natin sa interviewer. Okay? Okay. So, ano naman yung mga bagay na dapat nating iwasan? But before we say that, let me give you an example first kung ano yung mga pwede ninyong sabihing strength and weaknesses. Okay? So if you have a pen and paper or something to write on, I can give you some list of strengths na pwede ninyong i-discuss during an interview. Okay? So first, You can tell them na you're action oriented. Yan. Second, attentive. Yan. Third, collaborative. And then after that, committed. And then creative. And then determined. And then disciplined. And then empathetic, enthusiastic, flexible, honest, innovative, patient, and respectful. Yan. Nasa chat room natin yan. Chinat ko dyan para at least pwede ninyong i-copy paste later on. Yan. So, ano naman yung mga weaknesses na pwede nating sabihin? Sa weaknesses, we can say na you're a little bit disorganized, um, sensitive, o kaya self-critical, perfectionist, shy, competitive, limited in experience, not skilled at delegating tasks, take on too much responsibility, not detailed oriented, not comfortable in taking risks, or too focused. Yan. So sa strength, if you're going to notice it, medyo mas madali siyang i-deliver. Kasi yun yung something na alam mong kaya mong gawin at pwede mong ibida sa interviewer mo, right? Napakadali lang yan. Pero pagdating sa weakness, diyan ka magdadalawang isip kung sasabihin mo ba talaga kung ano yung dapat na weakness mo or hindi. So, ang parati kong ginagawa during an interview is that I tend to choose for my weakness na pwede siyang maging strength ng ibang tao. Katulad ng pinaka magandang example diyan is yung perfectionist, 'di ba? Technically, it's a weakness maging perfectionist. Pero sa isang company na naghahanap ng maayos na resulta or magandang resulta, especially kung ang campaign or ang account na ina-applyan mo has something to do with organizing things or organizing datas, magiging malaking strength yung pagiging perfectionist mo. Okay. Isa pang weakness na pwede natin gawing strength is yung you take on too much responsibility. Technically, it's a weakness for you personally dahil syempre pagka masyado kang maraming kinukuhang responsibility, chances are nababurn out ka, napapagod ka, di ba? Pero sa company, if you take on too much responsibility, malaking bagay sa kanila yan. Okay? So having said that, ano naman yung mga bagay na dapat nating iwasan sa tuwing sinasabi natin yung strengths and weaknesses natin? Unang-una, iwasan natin magsabi ng napakaraming strength and weaknesses. Kasi yung iba, binobombard nila ng sobrang daming information yung interviewer, nako-confuse na yung interviewer kung ano ba talaga yung strength and weaknesses ninyo. And chances are, kapag masyado kang sinabi, pag marami kang sinabing strength, magiging ano yan nagkakaroon siya ng conflict dun sa weaknesses mo. Minsan yung strength mo, sinabi mo na um, masipag ka magtrabaho, tapos pagdating sa weaknesses, sinabi mo na sometimes I'm a bit I tend to procrastinate things. So nagkakaroon siya ng conflict. So make sure na yung strengths and weaknesses mo is konti lang. Okay, wag masyadong madami. Sabi ko sa inyo, maximum of 2 to 3 lang sa strength and then 1 or 2 sa weaknesses. Okay? Now, ano pa yung dapat nating iwasan? Iwasan natin yung um, weakness natin na mababaon tayo dun sa interview. Yan. Katulad ng, let's say, for example, sinabi mo sa interview na one of your weakness is that you're not competitive. Yan. Pag sinabi mong you're not competitive enough, tapos sinabi sa interviewer, well, the company tends to look for someone who wants to be always on top of their performance. So if you're saying that you're not competitive, then we're gonna have a hard time making you work or having you perform on our team, di ba? So let's make sure na yung weakness natin, kung magsasabi man tayo ng weakness, dapat pwede siyang maging strength. Ano
Yes.
pa yung mga bagay na pwede nating sabihin na weakness? Pwede nyo sabihin na you're too focused sa isang bagay. Yan. Kasi pag sinabi mong too focused ka, andun ka lang sa station mo. Wala kang ibang outside things. Kaya minsan, pag may tumatawag sa'yo, nahihirapan kang sumabay. But in a BPO settings, pasok na pasok yan pag too focused ka. Kasi yun lang naman talaga yung trabaho mo. Doon ka lang sa station mo, sumasagot ka ng tawag or nag-address ka ng concern ng mga customers ninyo. Okay? Malinaw?
Yes.
So again, some things to avoid when answering that question. First, avoid saying a lot of things. And second, avoid answering a weakness that would bury you down on the interview. Yan. Dahil lang kasimple.
Yung sir, may tanong ako sir.
Yes.
Yung sagot ko kanina na I think we don't, my weaknesses is not the same yours, but I'll
Mm.
make sure that my weaknesses will not cannot affect my performance in the company. Wala ba yung ano?
It's a good answer but hindi siya magkakaroon ng bearing. Why? Kasi wala kang sinabing specific na weakness eh.
Mm,
And especially in a BPO, if wala kang naibigay na specific answer, chances are you're generalizing things. When you're generalizing things, hindi nila nakukuha yung sagot from you. So hindi nila
mm,
nagigauge kung gaano ka ka-effective makipag-communicate.
mm,
Yan. And it can open up, can of worms pa eh. Pag sinabi mo yung sagot na yan, sasabihin sa'yo ni interviewer, okay, yes, I understand. But any weakness in particular? Yan. So parang magkakaroon ka lang ng panibagong sets of questions. Okay? So it's better na magbigay ka ng specific weakness and specific strengths. Okay. So any more questions? So since you're new, Jera, just to let you know, this is a very, very short training, weekly training. Usually it only lasts 30 to 45 minutes. And reason behind it is I don't want to bombard you guys with a lot of information. So it's better na matututo tayo in a span of 15-20 minute session, tang
One at a time.
paunti-unti, kesa i-bombard ko kayo ng napakaraming info sa loob ng 4 or 5 hours na hindi naman mare-retain sa atin. Okay? And again, if you miss some of the things that we have discussed, you can always check it out online sa ating YouTube channel. If you want to participate in our Facebook group, I'm always active there. Mag-post lang kayo ng mga gusto ninyong itanong during an interview. Yung mga nahihirapan kayong sagutin. Okay? So, any more questions, Jera?
So far, none.
Okay. And you, June?
yeah, that's good, sir. Thank you for the time.
Okay, so again, we'll see you next week, and you
All
guys
right.
have wonderful weekends. Okay,
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Nice
God
meeting you
bless
bye.
you
guys.
all. Thank you, Sir Andrew.